Hi, welcome to chapter 8. This is a good chapter. It's about chimney draft. And I have 5 parts of chimney draft. It's so important. Enjoy your video.
The science of a chimney, a thorough understanding of how a chimney system works, is essential for anyone who intends to diagnose and repair chimney problems correctly. A chimney is not simply a vertical structure that channels smoke. It is a complex system that relies on physics, combustion principles, material performance, and proper construction techniques. When an inspector understands each of these elements, problems that may appear confusing or unrelated begin to make perfect sense, and effective solutions can be offered with confidence. One of the first concepts a professional must understand is draft. Draft is the movement of air and combustion gases up the chimney, driven by temperature differences between the hot flue gases and the cooler outside air. Anything that interferes with draft, such as an oversized flue, a cold exterior chimney, blocked air supply, negative house pressure, poor throat geometry, or too short of a chimney, will affect fireplace or appliance performance. Understanding how draft is created and what conditions weaken or strengthen it allows an inspector to diagnose smoking problems, backdrafts, spillage, or poor appliance efficiency. Equally important is understanding creosote, including how and why it forms. Creosote is produced when wood smoke cools below its condensation point inside the flue. Oversized liners, cold chimneys, restricted draft, smoldering fires, and poor burning habits all contribute to rapid creosote accumulation. Knowing the chemistry of creosote formation and the stages it develops through fluffy soot, sticky tar, and hardened glaze helps inspectors not only identify the risks, but also understand the underlying cause. This enables them to recommend proper repairs, cleaning procedures, or upgrades such as insulated liners. A proper understanding of chimneys also requires recognizing that chimneys leak and knowing where and why they leak. Water intrusion can occur at the crown, flashing, brick joints, shoulders, rain caps, and even through porous masonry. When water enters, it causes rust, spalling, mortar decay, mold, smoke staining, and structural damage. A trained inspector knows how to track the path of water, understand the weaknesses in masonry construction, and recommend solutions such as crown repair, waterproofing, flashing replacement, and proper drainage. When an inspector understands draft behavior, creosote formation, water intrusion, material performance, and construction requirements, all the individual chimney components begin to interact as a unified system. The professional can then interpret symptoms correctly rather than treating them in isolation. A smoking fireplace may not be a throat problem. It might be a cold exterior chimney. Excessive creosote might not be caused by burning habits. It could be an oversized or uninsulated liner. A rusted damper may not be from age. It might be from a chronic flashing leak. In short, the more a chimney professional understands the science and construction behind the system, the more accurately they can diagnose problems and provide effective, long-term solutions. Knowledge transforms guesswork into expertise, and expertise ensures safety and performance for the homeowner. Draft here is a fully expanded, professional-level list of 100 factors that affect chimney draft. This list is designed for training chimney inspectors, sweeps, engineers, and professionals who want the most complete understanding of draft behavior. It includes physical, environmental, structural, operational, and fuel-related factors. 100 things that affect chimney draft, chimney design, and construction. 1. Chimney height. 2. Chimney interior location versus exterior wall location. 3. Chimney built on cold, outside wall buck chimney. 4. Chimney built too close to taller roof lines. 5. Chimney below roof peak, causing wind turbulence. 6. Offset chimneys with many bends. 7. Corbelled smoke chambers. 8. Smoke chambers not parched, smooth. 9. Improper throat construction. 10. Fireplace opening too large. 11. Fireplace opening too tall. 12. Improper smoke shelf shape. 13. Hollow smoke shelf not grouted. 14. Improper or missing firebrick in firebox. 15. Deteriorated firebox joint. 16. Cracked firebox wall. 17. Improperly sized hearth opening versus flue size. 18. Unsupported flue tiles. 19. Flue tiles with gaps. 20. Misaligned or shifted flue tiles. 21. Flue tiles cracked or missing sections. 22. Mortar protruding inside flue. 23. Oversized clay flues used with modern appliances. 24. Oval or rectangular flue shape, increasing friction 25. Tile liner, not insulated 26. Stainless steel liner installed without insulation 27. Improper liner size 28. Improper liner shape 29. Liner too large for appliance 30. Liner too small for appliance 31. Liner not continuous leaks 32. Liner protruding into smoke chamber appliance and fuel issues 33. Appliance too large for flue 34. Appliance too small for flue 35. Non-EPA stoves burning cooler 36. Old wood stoves with long smoldering burns 37. EPA stoves with long burn cycles creating cooler gases 38. Wet or green firewood 39. Burning garbage or improper fuels 40. Low temperature fires 41. Not preheating the flue before use 42. Wood stove air controls closed to early 43. Insert installed without direct connect liner 44. Insert installed into oversized masonry flue 45. Wood burner and gas appliances sharing a flue vent connector issues 46. Too long of a horizontal connector run 47. Connector pipe sloped incorrectly 48. Too many elbows in connector 49. Single wall connector where double wall is required 50. Rusted or deteriorated connector pipe 51. Connector pipe protruding inside the liner 52. Loose or leaking connector joints 53. Vent connector too large 54. Vent connector too small 55. Shared connectors improperly configured 56. Blocked or missing thimble draft and pressure related factors 57. Cold air plug in chimney before lighting a fire 58. Stack effect inside home 59. Negative house pressure from tight home 60. Negative pressure from HVAC system 61. Kitchen exhaust hood running 62. Bathroom vent fans running 63. Dryer operation pulling negative pressure 64. Whole house fan operation 65. Basement installations basement equal low pressure zone 66. Wind induced downdraft 67. Temperature inversions trapping smoke 68. High outdoor humidity increasing air density 69. Low barometric pressure 70. High barometric pressure 71. Wind shadow from nearby obstacles 72. Trees overhanging chimney top 73. Nearby tall buildings creating turbulence 74. Wind hitting roof valley or dormer 75. Poor chimney cap design restricting air flow 76. Chimney cap with mesh too restrictive 77. Frozen or snow blocked chimney cap 78. No cap, allowing rain to cool flue moisture and water intrusion 79. Rain entering chimney, cooling the flue 80. Condensation forming in uninsulated liners 81. Leaking crown saturating flue masonry 82. Failed flashing allowing water into chimney 83. Spalling brick reducing flue temperature 84. Moist chimney walls absorbing heat 85. Creosote absorbing moisture and restricting flow 86. Wet masonry taking longer to heat debris and obstructions 87. Bird nests 88. Squirrels or raccoons inside flue 89. Fallen tiles from old liners 90. Leaves or twigs inside chimney 91. Construction debris left in smoke chamber 92. Dead animals on smoke shelf 93. Cleanout filled with debris blocking flue fireplace operation 94. Damper partially open 95. Damper rusted or warped 96. Glass doors closed improperly 97. Restrictive screens reducing airflow 98. Fire built too close to the front of firebox 99. Excess ash buildup restricting airflow 100. Inadequate makeup air supply due to sealed windows and doors. Chimney height is one of the most influential factors in how well a chimney drafts, and understanding why gives you a foundation for diagnosing almost every chimney performance issue. A chimney works on the principle of buoyancy. Hot combustion gases inside the flue are lighter than the cooler outside air. This difference in density creates an upward pull. The taller the column of hot gas, the stronger the upward movement, which is why chimney height directly affects draft strength. A taller chimney creates a longer vertical column of rising hot gases. The pressure difference between the bottom and top of that column becomes greater as the chimney becomes taller, which increases the natural suction at the appliance or fireplace opening. This stronger draft helps remove smoke, exhaust gases, and moisture more efficiently. Conversely, A shorter chimney produces only a small pressure difference, which results in weak draft. Short chimneys often struggle to start drafting, especially in mild weather when the temperature difference between the inside gases and outside air is small. This is why fireplaces with short chimneys frequently smoke into the room, and furnaces attached to short chimneys may spill exhaust or fail to pull properly into the flue. There is, however, a practical limit to how helpful extra height can be. If a chimney is excessively tall and the flue is large or uninsulated, the flue gases may cool significantly before they reach the top. As the gases cool, they lose buoyancy, and the draft force decreases. This cooling can also increase condensation, leading to creosote formation or acidic moisture that damages the liner. In other words, height helps draft only if the flue stays warm enough to sustain upward flow. If the gases cool too much, even a tall chimney can draft poorly. Chimney height is also regulated for reasons of wind behavior and fire safety through what is known as the 3-2-10 rule. This rule requires that the chimney extend at least 3 feet above the point where it penetrates the roof, and that the top of the chimney be at least 2 feet higher than any part of the building within a 10-foot horizontal distance. This height requirement helps place the chimney termination in a clean airflow zone above the turbulence created by the roofline. When a chimney top sits too low, wind flowing over the roof can strike it directly, creating swirling eddies and low-pressure zones that push smoke back down the flue. By lifting the termination above this turbulent area, the 3-2-10 rule protects the chimney from wind-induced downdrafts. The rule also serves an important fire safety function. A chimney that terminates too close to the roof surface allows hot embers to fall directly onto shingles or nearby building components. By keeping the termination elevated, the chimney is less likely to discharge embers in a way that can ignite the roof. When comparing interior chimneys to exterior chimneys, the difference in performance almost always comes down to temperature, specifically how warm the flue gases remain as they travel upward. The temperature of the flue gases determines their buoyancy, which in turn determines the strength of the draft. Because of this, the location of the chimney within the structure has a major effect on how well the chimney performs. An interior chimney passes through the warm envelope of the home. The masonry is surrounded by conditioned air, so the chimney walls stay warmer throughout the year. A warm chimney keeps the flue gases hotter, and when the gases stay hot, they remain lighter than the surrounding outside air. This temperature difference creates stronger buoyancy forces, and the draft becomes more vigorous and more consistent. Interior chimneys are also less likely to fill with cold air between uses, so they start drafting sooner and maintain their draft more reliably, even in mild or windy weather. In contrast, an exterior chimney, especially one built on the outside of a house wall, commonly called a buck chimney, remains cold most of the time. 3 sides of the masonry are fully exposed to outdoor conditions. On cold days, the flue may be chilled to near outside temperature, and even in warmer seasons, the mass of brick and masonry absorbs outdoor temperature swings. When a fire or an appliance begins venting into a cold exterior chimney, the warm flue gases cool rapidly as they rise. As the gases lose heat, they become heavier and less buoyant, which weakens the draft. A cold chimney often struggles to establish an upward flow at startup, and the heavier flue gases can roll forward into the room or spill at the appliance draft hood. This is why many smoking fireplaces and backdrafting furnace vents are connected to exterior chimneys. Rapid cooling inside an exterior chimney also increases creosote formation in wood-burning systems and condensation in gas or oil-fired systems. In a wood-burning fireplace, cooling of the smoke below its dew point causes creosote to condense on the flue walls. In gas appliances, the cooled exhaust forms acidic condensate that damages clay flue tiles and corrodes mortar joints. These problems rarely occur as severely in interior chimneys because of their ability to retain heat. Another difference is the behavior of the flue before ignition. Exterior chimneys often develop a cold air plug, in which the flue is filled with dense, cold air that acts like a stopper. Before the chimney will draft, the rising heat must displace this heavy column. Until the plug clears, smoke may spill into the living area or appliances may backflow. Interior chimneys, being warmer, rarely develop such cold plugs. When a chimney is built too close to a taller roofline, it becomes trapped in an area of disturbed airflow that dramatically weakens draft. This is one of the most misunderstood causes of smoking and backdrafting, Yet it is extremely common in both older homes and modern construction. To understand why it happens, it helps to picture how air moves across a roof. As wind flows over a building, it rises up the windward side, accelerates toward the roof peak, and then rolls down the leeward side. If a chimney is placed near a taller structure, such as a higher roof ridge, dormer, gable, second-story wall, or even a tall parapet, that airflow becomes turbulent. Around the taller section, a swirling low-pressure zone forms. If the chimney termination is located within that zone, the moving air can actually pull air down the flue or push wind sideways into it. This causes erratic or reverse draft, smoke spillage into the house, difficulty in lighting fires, furnace spillage, and even carbon monoxide problems. This phenomenon is the reason behind the 3-2-10 rule, which requires the chimney to extend at least 3 feet above the roof penetration and 2 feet higher than any structure within 10 horizontal feet. When a chimney is too low relative to a nearby, taller roof line, it simply cannot rise above these wind eddies. Instead, it sits in a pocket of spiraling, chaotic air where downdrafts are common. Fireplaces in this situation often smoke intermittently. On calm days, they may perform acceptably, but on windy days or when wind hits the house at certain angles, the chimney loses its draft entirely. Another problem occurs when the taller roof section is directly upwind. Wind striking the taller portion of the building creates a wind shadow behind it, similar to the calm, swirling air behind a large rock in a stream. A chimney built in that shadow cannot maintain upward flow because the surrounding air pressure is unstable. Even a well-built chimney with good height, proper geometry, and correct liner sizing can fail if the surrounding airflow is too disturbed by nearby structures. The effect becomes even more pronounced when the chimney is on the leeward side of a taller structure. As wind flows over the higher section and drops, it creates a suction effect that can literally pull smoke back down the chimney. Many people mistakenly blame this on draft failure inside the chimney when the true cause is the positioning of the chimney relative to nearby architectural features. When diagnosing chimney problems, height must be evaluated not only in terms of total feet, but also in terms of clear access to stable air above the structure. If a chimney is built too close to a taller roofline, raising the chimney is often the only long-term solution. Adding a specialized draft-improving cap may help in borderline cases, but the most reliable fix is increasing the chimney's elevation so that the termination rises above the turbulent airflow zone. Once the chimney reaches clean, lamina air above the taller roofline, draft becomes more consistent, smoke problems disappear, and overall system performance improves dramatically. Offset chimneys, those that do not rise straight up, but instead shift horizontally using bends, are a major cause of draft problems, especially when too many bends are used or when the offsets are too sharp. Draft depends on smooth, upward airflow. Every time the flue changes direction, that smooth flow is interrupted, and the chimney's ability to pull smoke upward is weakened. When you understand the physics behind this, it becomes obvious why offset chimneys perform worse than straight chimneys. A chimney that rises vertically creates a consistent column of warm, buoyant gases that travel straight up with minimal resistance. When you introduce a bend, usually accomplished by shifting flue tiles or installing elbows in a metal liner, several things happen. First, the gases must change direction, which slows their velocity and creates turbulence. As turbulent flow increases, friction against the flue walls increases. This friction reduces upward momentum and weakens the draft. Second, every bend allows smoke to linger slightly longer on the cooled flue surface, causing the gases to lose heat. Once the gases cool, they become heavier and less buoyant, further reducing the draft force driving them upward. The more bends a chimney has, the harder it becomes for smoke to travel through it. A single offset may be manageable if constructed within limits, but multiple offsets compound the problem. If a chimney has 2 or more direction changes, the cumulative loss of heat and velocity can cause chronic draft failure, smoke spillage, backdrafting, and excessive creosote formation. In wood-burning systems, the cooling of gases at each bend dramatically increases the risk of creosote condensation, especially at the inside shoulder of each offset. In gas appliances, too many bends can cause moisture-laden exhaust to condense and pool inside the flue, accelerating liner deterioration.